was incredibly ugly. I was one of those women who had looked at it, and from that moment on, I wished I hadn't. It made me sick. I pitied anyone who had to go down there. In order to survive, I began to pretend there was something else between my legs. I imagined furniture. Cozy futons with light cotton comforters, little velvet settees, leopard rugs, or pretty things, silk handkerchiefs, quilted pot holders, place settings. I got so accustomed to it that I lost all memory of even having a vagina. Whenever a man was inside me, I pictured him inside a mink-lined muffler or a Chinese bowl. Then I met Bob. Bob was the most ordinary man I had ever met. He was tall and thin and nondescript and wore khaki tan clothing. Bob did not like spicy foods and didn't listen to Prince. He had no interest in sexy lingerie. In the summer, Bob spent time in the shade. He did not share his inner feelings. He did not have problems or issues or wasn't even an alcoholic. He wasn't funny or articulate or mysterious. He wasn't mean or unavailable. He wasn't self-involved or charismatic. He didn't drive fast. I didn't particularly like Bob. I wouldn't have noticed him at all if he hadn't picked up my change that I dropped on the deli floor. When his hand brushed mine accidentally, when he handed me back my quarters and pennies, something happened. I went to bed with him. That's when the miracle occurred. Turned out, Bob loved vaginas. He loved the way they felt, the way they smelled, the way they tasted. Most importantly, he loved the way they looked. He told me he had to see me. The first time we had sex, he told me he wanted to look at me. I'm right here, I said. No, you, he said. I have to see you. Turn on the light, I said, thinking he was a weirdo and freaking out in the dark. He turned on the light. Then he said, okay, I'm ready to see you. Right here, I waved, I'm right here. Then he began to undress me. What are you doing, Bob? I need to see you, he replied. No need, just do it. I need to see what you look like, he said. But you've seen a red leather couch before. Bob continued, he would not stop. I wanted to throw up and die. This is awfully intimate. Can't you just do it? No, he said, it's who you are I need to look. I held my breath. He looked, and he looked. He got breathy, and his face changed. He didn't look ordinary anymore. He looked like a hungry beast. You're so beautiful, he said. You're elegant and deep and innocent and wild. You saw that? There? I said. It was like he read my palm. I saw that, he said, and more, much, much more. He stayed looking for almost an hour, as if he was studying a map, observing the moon, looking in my eyes, but it was my vagina. In the light, I watched him looking at me, and he was so genuinely excited, so peaceful and euphoric. I began to get wet and turned on. I began to see myself the way he saw me. I began to feel beautiful and delicious, like a great painting or a waterfall. Bob wasn't afraid. He wasn't grossed out. I began to swell, began to feel proud, began to love my vagina. And Bob lost himself there, and I was there with him, in my vagina, and we were gone.
This is a not-so-happy fact, found in UNICEF's 2005 report, Female Genital Mutilation and Cutting, a Statistical Exploration.